Let's just start off this video by thanking all of the brave crusaders and info warriors who came to our defense last week when a horde of angry leftists attacked our video, leaving hate and threats everywhere after we exposed the Young Turks. After the Young Turks supporters saw our video, they swarmed us like locusts and tried to drown us in downvotes. And honestly, we were having trouble breathing until you guys came and pulled us out of the waters of suppression with your love and support. It just goes to show that while people on the left seem to always hate each other, conservatives always have each other's backs. So let's just get into the video then.
The View is a show that premiered on ABC in 1997 and has been going strong for about 20 years now. The idea behind The View is they take a group of unattractive middle-aged women and put them around a round table and have them discuss politics to a massive audience on national TV. One of the big issues with this format is that the women they have come on the show are not experts in politics and many of the times are less informed than their audience.
One of the problems with The View is that due to the hosts being popular actresses a long time ago, they're probably still pretty affluent. This is a stark contrast to the majority of the American people. This leads back to one of the major themes of the past year, where celebrities who are completely out of touch with the reality of the average citizen think they have the right to tabulate public interest concerning the politics that impact the lives of everyday Americans.
In the clip we're going to see today, we see Whoopi Goldberg being so out of touch with reality that she thinks a democratically elected president, because he disagrees with her viewpoints, is the same as a terrorist group that believes in Sharia law.
So you want to correct the email server?
I mix up private emails with private servers. I don't really know the difference.
Right.
I see we're already off to a great start.
But that's what I
it's
said.
private.
I said that his people had private servers. They have private emails. I don't know. Isn't it the same thing?
Let me give you a quick tip. When your audience is millions of people, do your research before the show.
I don't know the difference, and I don't care.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're talking about. Joy Behar has admitted she doesn't know or care about giving her viewers accurate information because she herself is incredibly ignorant.
So we also keep hearing about terrorists hating our American values.
The way Whoopi frames this is disgusting. We keep hearing, as if it's something that might not be true and that the media is just pushing. Let me tell you something, Whoopi. Islam supports Sharia law, a law that demeans women and gays and persecutes them. We hate these ideas in the West, and Sharia law supporters hate the West. That's how it is, and that's how it will always be.
Maybe we had this conversation yesterday. This was a point about.
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you now. We have a leader who has repeatedly demeaned women.
Right.
Wrong. Wants to defund organizations that benefit women. Wrong.
We will release a video to shed some more light on Trump's Planned Parenthood policy.
Calling on the media to shut up.
Trump isn't calling on the media to shut up. He's calling on the media to have greater accountability to the American people.
Specifically wants to give preferential treatment based on religion. Wrong. Are these values really much different than the Taliban?
Whoopi, the Taliban support and push for Sharia law. Some aspects of Sharia law include a man can marry and consummate a marriage with a 9-year-old girl. A woman can have one husband, but a man can have 4 wives, and a man is entitled to beat his wife if she's insubordinate to him.
This is often also an animal rights issue, as goats can get out of hand sometimes.
If you can point to where Trump said he supports those values to prove your point, I will gladly denounce them and him.
I mean, those
because
The fact that the audience is clapping for this makes me want to puke.
you're talking about Trump's values.
well, no, the values that we are listening to, because one of the things you read yesterday was a piece of the
Whoopi's been told that she has an agenda to push, but she's too stupid to do a good job at it.
the language.
the language in the ban,
Yeah.
which was about if you disrespect women, if you disrespect
gay people,
yes.
if you, yeah.
And so
This exchange was the definition of an ignorant circle jerk.
Here's the truth. Whoopi didn't read the ban. She doesn't know the wording. Her audience doesn't know the wording, so none of them can call her out.
And basically, this leads to no one having a fucking clue what's going on.
yesterday I was thinking about
They're
this,
doing
and
the
I
same thing.
thought all of these things that I've been hearing, have our values changed?
No, the values of The View have been horrible since 1996.
What's happened? Are we still fighting?
Well, I think there's a difference between Donald Trump and
and America, because I mean, when I think of our values, I think of the values outlined in the Constitution, and whether or not my president at the time is a reflection of that doesn't necessarily mean that the values of the country or the people have changed.
The values that people think are laid out in the Constitution are interpreted by the society of the time, meaning that the values that the Constitution shows people are simply a reflection of the people's already established values for the time. Just because the prevailing values of the time don't align with your own values doesn't mean that they are not the prevailing values.
Or that everyone but you is a terrorist.
But I would definitely think there's a difference between the Taliban, who is beheading people, chopping off heads, and an American president who may have policies that you disagree with, or may be saying things that
But if he
you
says,
disagree with,
I don't like what you did, you're fired.
You know what, she might be right. Regulated democratic capitalism could be the same as beheading people in the streets.
Is that, I mean,
That's
when
different
you
from chopping off people's heads.
Well, it is, but I feel like, listen.
And that's the problem right there. Too many feelings and listening to people who can do nothing but speak from places of pure emotion and not educated thought.
If you're saying to the media, shut up, that's what they do. Maybe they didn't start out chopping people's heads off. Maybe they started out differently.
You know, guys, I think Whoopi might be onto something here. Maybe all Sharia law groups started out disagreeing with her. Or you could take a look at the Quran, the book that started the religion of Islam, and see the laws and rules that they have in there.
And then, Whoopi, instead of having to rely on your feelings for all of your information, you could read a book or even just a fucking Wikipedia page for some historically accurate facts.
by Whoopi in the lead.
But my question then is are Trump's values different from the Republican Party's values? Because I don't see them objecting to any of this.
And that's why we know that you haven't been paying any attention to politics for the past 9 months.
Tons of Republicans were resisting the change in values that Trump was bringing. But now, Trump is the leader of the Republican Party, and the values that he was elected on have become the values of the party that he rules over. We're not going to show you the rest of their segment, because the next 4 or 5 minutes is them talking over each other in an incoherent ramble. If you're interested, we'll link it in the description. In a quick summary, Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of The View is so out of touch with reality that they think a democratically elected president is worse than Sharia law and terrorism. Remember, if you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe.
Think about what you do to all of the members of The View, then do the opposite to our subscribe button.